Hello, my name is Brendan Sattler, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about a famous business leader. Now, I say famous, but a lot of people probably actually don't know much about her. Her name is Ursula Burns, and Ursula Burns is an African American female business leader. She was both a CEO of a Fortune 500 company as well as being on multiple boards of directors for other companies as well. Now, that's getting a little bit towards like the end of her career. I want to talk more leading up to how she got there, what made her like so famous in the business world, and then what were her like greatest achievements afterwards. So, who was Ursula Burns? Ursula Burns was born in New York in I think it was pronounced Baruch House's New York housing project. She was born to a single mother. She was raised along with three other children, and she was very poor. And to put it into her own words and to quote, I had three things against me: I am black, I am a girl, and I am poor. She thought it was a miracle that she was able to even get anywhere close to where she was in life later on, but she ended up making it, and that was more to her own conviction to do that than just some miracle. Because she went through high school and she did amazing. She ended up going to the Brooklyn, excuse me, what is it called again? The Brooklyn Polytechnic Institute to get her bachelor's in mechanical engineering. And then she went to the Columbia University, excuse me, to get her master's in mechanical engineering. And this was all provided both in her own biography that she talked about on Lenin.org, and then it was also in the Britannica bibliography that was written about her. So it was pretty amazing what she could do, even though she grew up at a time where she probably didn't have much to succeed on. And then, so where did this lead her to? She ended up going to a company called Xerox Corporation in about 2002 is when she did it. And this was her first big break. This was a very good job that she landed. It paid decently well, and she was able to climb the ladder relatively fast. By 2009, she ended up becoming the CEO of Xerox Corporation, and that was a big achievement. She wasn't the first female CEO to become a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but she was the first African American female to become a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And not only that, she succeeded another female CEO just before her, and it was pretty amazing. Now, this hot streak of hers didn't last forever, but she had a short break after that. And that was because Xerox Corporation was not doing very well when she took the seat. It was barely keeping afloat. They weren't getting any profits anywhere, and she really needed to turn it around. So what she ended up doing was straying away from products and going to services. And she ended up buying computers and technology services to help provide to areas around where Xerox Corporation was, where they were. And that helped for a little while, but it only delayed the inevitable. Eventually, she had to step down in 2016 because Xerox Corporation was just not making any money. She had to sell it, and she just, it didn't end up working out. I'm sorry, my dog just ran down here. To get back on track, though, even though that ended up happening, she still did really well, and while most CEOs would go into obscurity afterwards, she continued on. During her tenure as a CEO, she even went on to be hailed by the Obama administration, and even brought in for the educational, I don't remember what it was called, Educational Coalition for STEM. And if you don't know what STEM is, that stands for science, technology, and mathematics. And basically, who better than a very well-known CEO who had a master's in mechanical engineering? So there was that, and then what also was really amazing is she still landed on a lot of board of directors for other well-known companies such as American Express, Uber, and just like dozens of more. And it's honestly really impressive what she was able to do from starting so small. And so just to kind of like summarize all that, she started as a poor African American girl in New York who thought, well, everything's against me. How am I going to get myself out of this? And she ended up forging a road to becoming a very well known CEO in the business world, and then eventually being so well known that a lot of other companies wanted to bring her on to get her insight, and even the president and his administration wanted to bring her on to help with education and how they could better help everyone in the business world. And that's Ursula Burns. Thank you for listening. Did you like my speech, Bella?